solid. You.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson might be the most overrated player in the league.
You lose for a sixth straight year, no matter what the circumstances are. It's a joke.
Who's going to overtime goal?
You know what? Just Barry Coccagnato.
KK!
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm changing my mind. The things that popping up in his face, bro.
Oh, man.
Ladies, gentlemen, fellow sports fans, and hopefully soon to be uncontested subscribers, welcome back to our first episode of the week, episode 62. John, we just hit 650 subs. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. We're actually at 652 as we record this. I don't even know what to say. Thanks for the support so far.
You could tell by our wardrobe, we've been recording a lot today.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of episodes in the next couple of days with the same stuff on, so.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
No,
But
it was a grind.
We've been grinding tonight, but it's good for you guys because you've been showing us the support, so we have no problem doing it as long as you guys keep supporting us.
Oh, dude, first time since we started the channel, because I remember when we started the channel, the first couple episodes got a few hundred views. We're like, it's all our friends, and we knew that it was gonna go down. When will it finally go back to consistently getting 150, 130 views on an episode?
It never did.
Well, we're there now.
Only because we changed what we were doing.
Yeah, but we're there now,
Yeah.
and this is the first time in the channel's history that we've had over 1,500 returning viewers in a month.
That's huge because that obviously means, correct me if I'm wrong, but that these are people that actually subscribed and that are going to watch our content regularly, right?
Yeah, even if they haven't subscribed, means they've watched us more than once, which is
pretty shocking, honestly.
Yeah, it is. So it's
pretty shocking.
So thank you for the support. It definitely means a lot.
A couple of fan base to thank too. Senators, Red Wings.
They've gone off.
Habs too a little bit. We want to get a Habs guest for you guys. We've been trying.
Dude, the Montreal market's hard to crack.
It's been very hard on us, to be honest with you. We've tried, I think, more than any other to get somebody for the Habs. My dad's been asking, and we've just gotten wrecked.
Yeah,
but,
even Jimmy can't make it happen for us, man. We've tried. We'll get. I guarantee you there will be
eventually
a Habs guest on at one point. We're gonna try and do content for all 32 teams. This episode, we're talking about Mitch Marner getting put on defense by the Leafs. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Chychrun trade rumors specifically to the Blues, just because the other two teams in there right now are the Leafs and the Sens. And we've done a lot of Canadian content as of late. Go check out. We had a recent interview with Kyle Bukauskas.
We've done a lot of team previews though, and most of the teams are obviously American. So we've done a decent amount of American teams too.
Yep. But and then obviously we have Clay Imoo on this episode. Just Canucks YouTube legend. Did a video with him that's actually dropped a hype video for the Canucks seats, and I kind of did that every year since I've been literally 15 years old, and got him to narrate it, so that was pretty cool.
By the time you're seeing this, you're going to be seeing the hype video.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Put a lot of work into it. It's really, really cool. David did a great job on it.
Especially if you're a Canucks fan.
Yeah, if you're a Canucks fan, you got to hit that sub button. Check that out. And yeah, man, a little bit of a shorter episode, but things are going to be ramping up as soon as next week once the season starts.
Yeah.
I'm going to be gone next week. I come back next Thursday.
Yeah.
But right when I come back, we're on the grind again.
Yep, let's get into it because we do not have long here. Let's start with... Do you want to start with the Blues?
Yeah, let's do the Blues.
So, Jacob Chychrun, the offensive defenseman out of Arizona, had a great season in that bubble year. Led all defensemen in goals. And then really struggled last year. But he expressed interest a couple days ago that he really wants to trade before the start of the season. Does not want to be on Arizona. Wants to play for someone decent for the first time in his
crazy.
career.
I never thought anybody would ever not want to be in Arizona.
How could they? The Blues are in on it. And I find it a bit surprising because they have their 1-2-3 punch in Krug, Falk, Parayko. And they paid Nicoletti this summer. 4 years, $4.5 million. That's second pairing money. So you would think that their top four is pretty much done. But right now...
I would think Nicoletti's a top four defenseman, no?
Hasn't really played like it. He did decent for them in the playoffs. Scored that particular goal where he walked through the middle and scored in Game 6, I think it was. But, I don't think he's a top four defenseman. Not a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
if you add Chychrun to this, it's pretty crazy.
Pardon me?
If you add Chychrun to this defense right now, it's pretty crazy. If you have Chychrun,
really nice.
Krug, Falk, Parayko, and then Letty's your third pairing defenseman, I think he's a very good third pairing defenseman.
I think it becomes a very strong blue line. It does. For me, it's who do you give up? Apparently, they've expressed interest in Joel Hofer, their number one goaltending prospect for the Blues. But for me, unless it's guys like a like a game-changing goalie prospect, which I don't think Hofer is.
Give him up.
Like, goalies are so easy to come by. I would be shocked, though, if the Coyotes are not in on more than just that. Like, you got to think Scott Perunovich is part of the package. I don't know. I'm curious to see who else would be in that
There
package.
is no way they get him for a package center around a goalie prospect that I've never heard of. There's no way.
But apparently on Ottawa, the main centerpiece that they wanted was Shane Pinto. And Ottawa was unwilling to do that trade. They were unwilling to part with Pinto. And I know Pinto's
better, though. But
I know he is. And I know he's good. But for me, like, that guy's not getting into your top 6 for the next 3 years.
And if you have the littlest shred of hope that Chychrun's going to be back to what he was or even close, which if you're trading for him, you should.
And he's 24 years old.
Yeah, you'd give up Pinto.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's 24 years old, but also, dude, I mean, like, it could easily be a blip.
But
more often than not, it is a blip.
Yeah, but more often than not, a guy who's a top 10 overall pick puts up one outstanding season. It's like, I don't know if it's a blip. He's a defenseman and generally take a little longer to develop.
Maybe it'll be like Nathan McKinnon, where he just went quiet for like 15 years and then just
wake up out of nowhere. We'll see. But I think Chychrun's a very solid defenseman. I think on St. Louis, I was a bit surprised to see it because they have their power play 1 guy, Torrey Krug. You have your power play 2 guy, Scott Perunovich, who you hope is going to take Torrey Krug's spot. And they don't have the cap space. Like, they're going to have, next summer, they have to re-sign O'Reilly. They have to re-sign Barbashev. They have to re-sign Tarasenko. People are going to have to leave.
And when does Chychrun expire?
I'm not sure, but how do you have the space to bring on another contract?
Because right now he's obviously at very minimum, right?
I don't think he's at league minimum. He's 24. His league minimum's gone.
So he got a second contract.
Yeah. But, like, even if that goes up a little bit, or even just bringing on an extra contract as it is right now.
It's impossible. Yeah.
So we'll see.
And in this economy, Lou?
In this economy, man. But the Blues have been a team that everyone's had their eye on for, like, making a trade here. They got to make a move. Because the season ended. A lot of these other playoff teams are trying to get better.
They don't have to make a move. They're still, I have them second in the division. I mean.
Yeah, but you lose Perron. You lose Ville Husso. Like,
Ville Husso was a big loss.
Yeah. You're gonna need, like, this is all riding on Binnington being, like, a very solid starter.
Like, that's why. And is Thomas Greiss a decent backup? Or
he really struggled last year. Like, really sucked last year. But he was in Detroit. Maybe he bounces back.
Binnington might be the biggest X factor on this entire team in terms of, like, the biggest floor you could possibly have if he doesn't play well.
Yeah.
Or a good ceiling.
Yeah. We'll see. We asked Kyle Bukauskas when he was on our show about Ottawa, if Ottawa was a team in the mix. Like, I literally said, I'm like, if I'm Ottawa, I want to see a trade. Bring in Chychrun. And he told me, he's like, I don't think that's going to happen. So there's 3 teams that are down to this. Bukauskas, who's at training camp there every day, and look, things change every day. But if he's there, and he doesn't really have his finger on the pulse, like, for something that's happening right now.
If you don't want to move Pinto, I mean, you can't expect Chychrun unless Arizona really just does the Arizona thing and just shoots himself in the foot again.
That would be an Arizona thing. But I don't know. I just think that there's no way Ottawa could be that competitive in this unless Arizona's selling their soul.
Yeah.
And Toronto, I feel like Toronto's just in the rumor mill for everything.
Get out of here.
One of these teams.
You know what I saw on an article last couple of days?
Yeah.
I saw Connor McDavid is in the Toronto Maple Leafs' future cap plans.
Okay, that's just ridiculous. That has to be a joke.
Like, Leafs fans, I have you first in the division. Like, quiet down, please. It's really, really annoying.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's funny. But
anytime you see the Leafs in there, just.
But one of these teams in the rumors have to, like, be legit. And look, the Blues are the only team in there. So we'll see.
I mean, look, if you're the Blues, if you have to give up a goalie prospect, call them right now and freaking do it. Like, seriously. It's a crime if you don't.
Yeah. And also, though, I'm sure Perunovich would have to be involved in this.
Send him too. Like, send him too.
Yeah. Problem is, though, is at that point, I think the plan is, and this is my hot take, the plan is to eventually get rid of Torrey Krug.
Because of the money?
You're paying him $6.5 million for the next 6 years. He still has value right now. There is a team that would take Torrey Krug on right now. You have Scott Perunovich, who plays a very similar role and gets paid 6 times as less. I don't know. I think the play might be to try and get him to fill that Krug spot. So if you do move Perunovich in this trade,
that ruins that plan.
Yeah.
You don't think they would do Krug for Chychrun?
I don't think Arizona would do that.
You don't think?
No. They want Young. They don't want Torrey Krug.
Yeah, but Young for what? He's not inhibiting anything. They're going to be last.
I know, but I don't think they want a 6.5 times 6 contract. I don't think they want
could
that.
take it though.
They could,
I
but I
guess
don't think that
why
makes
would you
sense.
want
It
to?
makes
Yeah.
no sense.
I guess so. If
So
they can't find
I
another
need to
trading
see
partner,
who would go the other way. The Blues obviously have a couple solid prospects: Jake Neighbors, Zachary Bolduc,
forgot about that
Snuggerud,
guy,
who they drafted
Bolduc.
this year in the first round.
Yeah.
We'll see how they actually pan out. We'll see how highly they view them, how other teams view them. One of those guys I think has to be involved in this deal though, or they're first for next year.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see though. Let us know, Blues fans, Arizona fans, is this something that's realistic? John, let's get to our favorite Canadian sportsbook, Bet99. When you guys register, use the link in our bio and make sure to use the code UNCONTESTED1. And whenever you bet, use our code UNCONTESTED1 for plenty of offers and rewards. Let's talk a bit about Bet99. Bet99 is a Canadian sportsbook and casino. They offer in-play betting, player props, a cash-out option, and many more great products. There are a variety of sports available on the website to bet on, including NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB, and MMA. Bet99 works smoothly on both desktop and mobile. The Bet99 mobile app can be downloaded from the homepage of the website. Depositing and withdrawing funds is hassle-free with a number of well-known methods available to use so you know your money is safe and secure. The website can be viewed in both English and French, and customer service is available 24/7 on live chat. Go to bet99.com and make an account to get started. Please gamble responsibly. 19 plus, play responsibly, and check the bio for details on where it's available to bet on. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please contact Canucks Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. Again, for all disclaimers on location and whatnot, check the bio and gamble responsibly. Our next guest is a Canucks YouTube legend. He's the founder of the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, co-host of Canucks After Dark. He's one of the biggest voices of Canucks coverage, and he's here today to share his thoughts with us. Some refer to him as Canucks Clay. We call him a friend of the show. Welcome, Clay Imoo.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you, John. Thanks for having me. As always, happy to support you guys, and you guys are doing some great work. So I'm thrilled to be here.
No,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate having you on, especially last minute like this.
Yeah.
And I want to say I appreciate you so much for helping me out with the hype video that I made for this year. Check that out. That's dropping by now. By this point, it's already up. So go check that out.
Yeah, check that out. They did a great job on it. It looks really, really good. And I'm not even a Canucks fan, and I got goosebumps. So definitely check that out if you're a Canucks fan.
The imagery is quite stunning, Dave. You did a great job of pulling those clips, and I was happy to lend my voice. Unfortunately, you didn't get my good looks on there, but that's okay. My voice will be the second best thing. I'm totally kidding. You guys got viewers like, this guy thinks he's good looking. Yeah.
No, he's the founder of the Good Looking Canucks Positivity
Exactly.
Club. So I definitely think you're good looking.
Appreciate that.
But no, man, it was just great having you on. Like right when I was making the video, because I've made a bunch of Canuck videos before. I've had like
You've been
I've
doing
seen
them for years.
since I've literally been 10 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
and I've watched a bunch of hype videos, but you remember those ones with the Raptors where they'd be narrated? I'm like, there was
Yeah.
just something so different to it. So I'm like, I would love to do something like that, have it narrated. And I'm like, there's no way I can do it myself though. Like there's just no way. Like it has to be someone that when he talks, every Canucks
Yeah.
fan knows who's talking.
A
Their
legendary
words
voice.
mean something. And Clay, it's who I thought of right away, and it came out even better than I expected. So
Appreciate it. Thanks for the trust. And if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you go watch it, because it'll be well worth your time. It's only 5 or 6 minutes, but it's a very powerful 5 or 6 minutes to say the least.
Watch it like right before the opening game. Get yourself
oh
all
man,
pumped
you're
up.
gonna be bouncing off the walls. No, it's meant
Yeah.
to tell the story of the past couple years. Because it's been kind of weird, right? Like there was all that hype, the core was assembled, all the hope was there, and then obviously a lot of struggle, and then hopefully back to some more positive vibes this year. And Clay, that's what we want to talk about with you, because so far during preseason, it has not been pretty. The Vancouver Canucks have yet to win a game. Where's your panic level at right now? Did it raise even a millimeter?
Nope.
How are you feeling? No?
No panic. And I have to be very fair here, because if I'm sitting here and saying I'm not panicked that they haven't won in 4 games, I have to be able to sit here and say I would not be over the moon if they are 4-0. So I truly think that no matter which way you go, which way the record went, we have to realize that we are not always dressing the strongest lineup. Granted, the opponent is not. You usually dress your stronger lineup at home, and you don't send all your good guys away. We all know that. So yeah, technically the Canucks should have won 2 of their 4, but truly not too worried. Every team is bringing in new guys. Every team has guys on PTO, some early injuries, whatever. But you'd much rather have them win than lose. But at the same time, it's truly preseason, and I simply don't see the Millers and the Horvats and even the Oyels and Hughes playing as strong as hard as they need to. PD is like on a mission, but the rest of the guys, yeah, and Kuzmenko has been good, but I know we're going to talk about them. But overall, not too worried. Truly not too worried. Now, if we come out of the preseason 0-7, then maybe a little bit of worry. But it's really honestly what happens in the Canucks start on the road for I think 5 or 6 right off the bat. That's going to be the true tale.
I gotta say, I totally agree with the preseason assessment. It doesn't really mean much to me. And you touched on it. The preseason hasn't been that great, but some people have really made an impact, like Kuzmenko. 2 goals, 3 points in that game. A lot of hype for him coming into this team. And so far, it looks like it's very warranted. So what do you think about him? Are you putting any stock in his game so far?
Yeah, John, we were so pleasantly surprised back in June when he announced that he's coming to Vancouver. Vancouver generally doesn't win out on these big free agent sweepstakes, and especially given our lack of success over the past really 7 years. So when he said he's coming to Vancouver, we get it. It's a 1-year contract, but it's a great 1 year, whatever, 800 or 900 grand. You need guys like that, of course. But the way that he comes in as a mature 26-year-old player, you can tell he's good on the boards. He's got really good hands, a really nice release. Not the fastest skater. He's kind of like Podkolzin, actually. Everything I've just explained is Vasily Podkolzin. He works hard, tough on the boards, strong, responsible enough defensively, but got a really good release and not afraid to get to the net. If he can be PD's running mate for a few games here, a few dozen games at least to start the season, I think it'd be really good for both of them. So we're very excited about him here in Vancouver. And, it's a good problem to have. If he does really well, gets 40, 50 points even, and then we're figuring out how to re-sign him. But I'll take that problem any day.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Bang on assessment with Kuzmenko. The foot speed, I remember when I watched the first game where he put up 1 assist, and I was just like, man, like, he's not... Like, I, for some reason, always imagined him being faster, because when I'd watch KHL highlights, for some reason, highlights, they only show the player's best moves and best plays.
He's also compared to everybody else in the
and
KHL
also compared to KHL
Yeah.
hockey, right? And that's the biggest thing Podkolzin talks about, is just how much faster the NHL is. But I want to move, you touched on PD there. I'd like to move on to Elias Pettersson. You mentioned it early on. The guy looks like he's on a mission. He was best player last game in the preseason. I thought the first game that he played, he had a solid showing as well. What are your expectations for PD this year?
They're pretty high. They're pretty high, guys. Last season, he missed all the training camp because they're renegotiating his contract, both him and Quinn, as you guys remember. Then he had a really slow start. His wrist injury, I think, was still bothering him. But to his credit, he came into camp this year not only on time, but he, first day of camp, said, I'm not going to make excuses. I was not myself. I was trying to play to other people's expectations. So he's saying all the right things right now. And yeah, John, you mentioned the 3 points that Kuzmenko got. There's 2 goals, primary and secondary assists were from PD. And I truly think that they're going to help each other. PD, I kind of think he wants to be the alpha dog again. You got JT Miller signing his long-term contract. We don't know what's going to happen with Bo, but I will take 3 centers down the middle of Miller, PD, and Bo any day. I wouldn't say they're the best ever because you have other players in this league, but cumulatively 1 through 3, that's pretty strong. That's really, really strong. So I'm expecting big things from PD for sure. He's and he's already in his 2nd year of his 3-year contract. If he plays really well this year, then guess what? We're already talking about contract negotiation. We can start talking about that at the end of this season. Seems like it never ends, right? It's either Miller, or it's Besser, then it's Miller, then it's Horvat, and then it's back to PD again.
Yeah, and then after that, Hughes.
That's crazy. Always stressful for Canucks fans on Twitter.
There always has to be someone. There's never could just relax.
John, it's crazy. You guys, and Dave knows this. Yeah, you just, anything, whether there's off ice stuff, on ice stuff, injuries, slow start, Boudreaux, extensions. There's always something going on.
I'm shocked that there's this many stuff because obviously we're in Montreal and I think I pay attention to the Montreal market pretty good. And yeah, half of it's in French, but I feel like there's nowhere near this many things to talk about with the Habs all the time, like there is with the Canucks.
No, no, you go, Clay.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just chuckling because I agree. My biggest thing about Montreal is John, I need to know, I got Cole Caulfield sitting on my fantasy team on my prospects, and I don't have to bring him up for another 3 years, but should I pull the trigger now?
I don't know, man. We did our fantasy. We kind of looked over our fantasy thing, and we had nobody on the Habs in like the top 40 forwards and like the top 3 defensemen, any goalie.
Okay.
But we had Caulfield as a maybe in around the 50s.
In 58. I'm high on Cole. I think I watched their preseason and I'm not going to be the guy who puts too much stock in preseason, even though I'm about to totally be that guy. But he was the best player on the ice, bar none. Yeah. And down the stretch last year was scoring at a ridiculous rate, shooting at 25%. Yeah. But I think he'll be legit.
I have faith. It's just Habs players, man, they never put up the points that we think they're going to put up. So I'm crossing my fingers. We'll see.
That's just the guy who's been through too many
It's a salary cap league, so I need his ELC for sure.
Yeah. It could be a good bet, though. Always a good bet.
I would
do it. Sure. I'm doing it. I'm going to say you guys told me to. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, blame us. But I did also want to talk. Let's get to the blue line here. Because going in, there was all this narrative about Hughes asking to play the right side, him being ready to play the right side. Him and OEL logged a lot of minutes against a pretty weak Seattle team. And the first period looked amazing. The second period was meh. And the third period, there was clips all over my Twitter about Quinn Hughes not looking that good. And then talks of them separating OEL and Hughes again. So what do you make of Hughes OEL? Do you want to see them start the season with them as a pairing?
I do. You guys, the Canucks blue line is so shallow, so weak that wherever you put Hughes, it automatically makes the other side so much worse. Normally, it's Hughes, OEL, and then probably Dermott when he's healthy, and Rathbone on the left. And then look at your right, Myers, Pullman, Shen. You move Hughes to the right side, and now you have OEL and Hughes together. Then you could, trot out Dermott, Myers as your second. At least Myers bumps down one pairing, and then something like a Rathbone, Shen, or Rathbone, Pullman as your third. And that's a little bit better. But then you have Travis Dermott, who's hurt now. So then you're like, oh my gosh, this is really weak on the left side. That's why Danny DeKeyser is still with the Canucks playing on a PTO. I think Hughes is smart enough, a good enough skater where he can adjust. And I would take an 85, 90% Hughes on the right over 100% Hughes on the left if it means all the minutes. Yeah. So you can look at it two ways. If him and OEL are the top pairing, then that means there's still 2 other pairings that don't have one of those 2 guys. So that's bad. But on the other hand, if you can have a pair that you can put out there when you're trying to get a goal and everything, I just think, I know some people are worried, well, why would you take Hughes away from his strength, which is his left side? But I do think he's smart enough and good enough skater where he can adjust. It's only been one game. They played one game together. So they're not playing tonight as we record this. So maybe they get the last 2 preseason games together, and then we'll see.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I mean, I've always said Canucks defense is their main issue. Everybody knows that. And I'm always kind of wondering why they don't fix it. They always do everything but fix that.
A lot
defense.
of Canucks fans are asking the same question.
Like, their offense is amazing, but they always make more moves for offense all the time.
Yeah.
And the defense is just sitting there. Like, you can get somebody who's not even that hard to get, like a Ben Sherrod, I always say. That's the kind of guy you want. A guy who's just gritty, kind of plays a little bit good defense.
Basically a better Luke Shen.
Or a better Ben Sherrod. And Ben Sherrod's not that good anymore. But the old Ben Sherrod.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys aren't hard to come by.
And I
mean, go to Seattle. Seattle has all of those guys on their defense.
Yeah. Clay, do you suspect that the Canucks will try and make any sort of move to further improve this defense? Because Rutherford used the words, certainly adequate, to define his blue line going into the season, which a lot of the Canucks fans laughed about. Do you suspect anything is going to go down there, or at this point, this is what it is?
I think they'll have their eye on the waiver wire, like all 32 teams will over the next week or so, as you know, teams try to sneak guys down and amidst all these other guys. But they simply don't have the salary cap room to make a significant deal. So I really think anything will have to come by waivers, depending on the contract, of course, as opposed to an outright trade or a signing. I don't think there's any really good free agent defenseman out there anyway. So maybe a waiver pickup for depth, but I don't see them bringing in someone who's going to crack the top 6 as a regular.
Yeah, no, I agree with that totally. Before we wrap up, Are you good if we hit you with some rapid fire questions?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm Mr. No, I'm not Mr. Rapid Fire. Do whatever. That's fine.
You're not Mr. Rapid Fire. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see how you respond. Then we'll let you know if you're Mr. Rapid Fire. How's that? Okay. First question. Over, under 83 points for Elias Pettersson.
Oh, that's right where I was going to peg him. Honestly, I keep saying 80, 85. I'm going over.
Okay. Kuzmenko. Over, under 47.
Over by 1 or 2.
Who is your most important player for the Canucks next season?
Oh, wow. That's still got to be Demko. It's still got to be Demko. He's not
Player
the best
most-
player. Oh, we could say he's the best player too, but most valuable. You don't have Demko on this team. Yeah, they're not a playoff. They're not even close to playoff contender.
Most intrigued player to watch next season?
Jack Rathbone and Andrei Kuzmenko. Both guys, if they do well, they could on small contracts could have a huge impact.
Which team are you most excited to watch the Canucks play next season?
Finally get Vancouver versus the Avalanche, Stanley Cup champions, and always a good time at Rogers Arena. It's weird. They play them twice in the span of 2 weeks in Vancouver. It's strange. So I'm going to one of them.
Okay, nice. Over, under 30 goals for Brock.
Oh, I wanted to say over. I'm not convinced that he's completely healthy all the time. Well, obviously, I hate to say this. I'm going under.
Okay. Does Bo Horvat get an extension by November 1st?
By November 1st. Yes.
Wow. Okay. There we go. There's my rapid fire. I think you passed with flying colors.
Yeah, I was okay. just like the Canucks. I'm just okay.
I was making those questions up off the top of my dome, so I was like, whenever I run out over here. But
You
you,
get the points too.
Just
Everything.
rapid fire. At least John was just sitting there. No, I'm just kidding, John.
Oh, I always just sit here. I
no, that was
sprinkle
all
in
off the top of my
once in a
head. I
while.
was like, whenever I don't have another question, then I tap out. But
No, it's good.
thank you so much, Clay, for doing this on short notice. Thank you again for the video. I think it turned out awesome. One of the best pump up videos I think I've ever made. Probably the best one I've ever made. All thanks to you. So, did the camera go there? Are we good? We're good, I think. Whatever. It doesn't matter anyways. But thank you so much, Clay. And everyone, I don't think you need to hear it from us because Clay's channel is literally like 11, 12 times bigger than ours. But hit that sub button.
If you're a fan from a different team and you're watching right now, maybe you don't know about Canuck Clay, go give him a sub.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we can do.
Yeah.
And
Well,
maybe,
Dave, John,
maybe Clay, if you're
thanks
doing
for
that.
having me. No, you guys are doing great work, honestly, and I'm looking forward to collaborating more as the season goes on. And John, good luck with your Montreal Canadiens.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We're gonna need it.
really good 2 years ago, not so good last year. So maybe the proof is somewhere in the middle. Is that fair to say?
I have them last in the division, but we'll see. Yeah.
Hey,
And-
question.
And I have the least first, which is what's worse. But it's all right.
Is that 24-hour live stream a thing again this year?
Yep, gonna do it sometime in November. Gonna get you guys on. I need my East Coast guys to step up and help me through the night. So I'll be finding you guys soon for sure.
Let's go. Last year I sewered John with the middle of the nighttime when like 8 a.m. was available. But
That's all good, man. Middle of the night was fun.
I'll give you first dibs this year for sure.
well, no, this was the logic. This is why I picked 5 a.m. over 8 a.m. our time.
Yep.
Because 5 a.m. our time was 2 a.m. Vancouver time. And it was on the weekend. So I'm like, maybe there's like more people like awake at like
yeah.
2 a.m. And also 5 a.m. for Clay is a worse time because like he needs some positive vibes to
Yeah.
get him through the night. Whereas 8 a.m. is 5 a.m. Vancouver. Like
Yeah.
you gotta be very dedicated to Clay, which I know he has his dedicated subs.
Yeah.
But 5 a.m. in the morning. On
So
a
guys,
Saturday,
I might get
it's tough.
smart and I might pre-record a couple of them, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing.
Alrighty.
We're good to get on at the worst hour possible. Though we're
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
anytime.
good.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much again, Clay. And I'm pumped. We'll be texting, I'm sure, during the Canucks season, seeing what's going on there. So, yeah. I don't
Sounds
know.
great.
Keep
Thanks
up the
again,
great
guys.
work.
Thank you so much. Do you hate the offseason? With bench clears, you'll be able to rep your team's colors all year long. Bench clears is the most comfortable hockey tank you'll ever wear. Their tanks are 100% polyester, making them incredibly soft and breathable, as well as having a clear design completely flush with the fabric. On top of their high-quality tanks, they have just released their new hockey shorts, women's racerback shirts, and hockey sunglasses, all available with your favorite team's design. To order, go to their website, benchclears.com. Also available in the description, and use the promo code UncontestedSports10. That's UncontestedSports10. All sizing and info is available right there.
Thanks so much to Clay for coming on. It was great getting to talk Canucks with him. Always is. Check out the video if you still haven't by this point, and hit that sub button and check out all of Clay's work.
We're going to remind you again at the end of this episode to check out the video. So
Man, that's all you're going to be hearing from us.
yeah, exactly.
But enough with the Canucks content. We've had a lot of it as of late.
You know, we said we're not going to have a pesky pick, but this could literally be a pesky pick of the week. This segment right here that we're talking about.
Yeah, I guess so. So we'll call it the pesky pick.
I mean, this is the pesky pick of the week.
Mitch Marner gets rolled out on defense. And so the whole idea of Toronto playing a forward on defense started in the preseason game where Morgan Riley was playing next to Yarncrook. And it was very odd because Yarncrook brought in as a free agent, an offensive guy. What the heck's he doing playing defense? The next day in practice, though, he's rolled out with the forwards. Makes sense. Maybe there was an injury. Maybe they had a misplan. But nope, because halfway through practice, Marner plays with Morgan Riley for the rest of the practice. And when Keefe was asked about it, he said that's something they're looking to have in their arsenal, being able to throw Mitch Marner back on the blue line.
I have a view that is very, very simple, as always. I'm not a big analytics guy. I'm not a very smart guy.
Yeah.
But I have a view on this. That's not very popular either. I think this thing sounds insane. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds crazy. It sounds like something I would do on an NHL HUT team.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't even do that. But there is no way that this team is putting themselves up to this kind of criticism after everything they've gone through over the last couple of years with the playoffs, knowing that the media has a magnifying glass on them. There is no way they're going to do this without having a good reason for it. And if I may not be able to see that good reason, but I think they have a good reason. And there's no way they would do it unless there was a reason for this. So I'm just going to trust this team that they're making the right decision.
I'm going to sit here and laugh in your face. As most of the hockey world did at Columbus, at Keefe when he said this. I don't know. For me,
I just feel like there must be a reason that I don't know. Cause I'm not.
Yeah, there must be a reason. The fact that they haven't made it out of round one in fucking forever and his job's on the line and he needs something to work.
And they think that's going to be the thing?
I don't know. Maybe they think he'll be like Quinn Hughes.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if Quinn Hughes can do it at that size, maybe Mitch Marner can too. And Mitch Marner's going to be even worse on defense than Quinn Hughes is. And Quinn Hughes is not even
I don't
bad
know.
on defense, right?
I just find it weird because Matthews and Marner are so like legitimately awesome together. Like back in that bubble season, they were both top 5 in the league in points. Last year, if Marner wasn't scratched up last couple games, he would have hit 100 points. Like they're unreal.
Dude, there's got to be a reason, man. There's got to be a reason. That's just my view on it.
Unless Marner is just really low key, and I mean extremely, extremely low key, good defensively.
He didn't tell anybody. It's so underlying that we need more underlying stats to even
I don't
find
know. For me, I do not understand putting Mitch Marner.
Jay Fresh right now is making a model to back up what this move is.
He better be. We'll have him on the show to talk about it.
It doesn't exist yet, but there's going to be a stat there for that.
I do not understand. I just don't get it. And I don't think that putting Marner to the blue line helps. Because this is a team that was able to outscore their terrible defensive issues. Now, your defensive issues get worse, and you lose your ability to outscore those.
Now, is this just in the power play? Or
no, this was 5-on-5.
Just power play I could easily see because they already play with
every team plays
one defenseman.
Yeah, every team does that.
If they want to go 5 forwards, might as well. Who gives a shit, you know? But yeah, a couple of years ago, the defense was even worse than it is now, and they were saying they're going to have to outscore their problems. It's gone a bit better, but they're not in a position to do this, I don't think.
No, not at all.
And Marner's like a wiry guy. Like, he's not a guy that you would think.
You know what? It's something I actually realized. Maybe, and I just realized this now, and this I could look really stupid because if all Leafs fans already know the answer to this, we look.
This
like
is no, you do. I said there's a reason. I covered my bases.
Maybe Rasmus Sandin was not signed at this point. Maybe they were just had a placeholder in for Sandin. Maybe, but
man, I'm smart sometimes.
What I'm gonna say,
I could know everything without knowing anything.
What I'm gonna say though is why would Keefe go say we want to have it in our arsenal? Is he just fucking with the media?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's fucking with Sandin, being like, if you don't sign,
we got our defenseman.
We got our guy.
I don't know. For me, it's all confusing.
I saw something about Sandin actually. Was there a story about Sandin? I saw a crazy story about it.
He just signed the contract.
No. It was like a funny thing.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like, I
there
don't
was
know what it
something,
was.
bro, and it would have been a good pesky
It would have
pick.
been maybe been pesky.
And I was thinking, I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't
yeah, I
remember
don't
what
remember
it was.
it now either.
But it was really ridiculous. It was like a Toronto media type ridiculousness.
Yeah. Nah, I don't remember now. Damn.
Something else, while you look that up, something else, I mentioned it in the interview, but if you didn't see this.
Mushrooms.
What about it?
He went foraging in the woods for
Yes!
Chanel
This is the
mushrooms
one!
to get his mind off contract negotiations.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty outrageous.
Pretty sick. For that to come out,
Yeah.
you never see that from NHL players.
Yeah, it's wacky.
But yeah, man, if you like the video,
Dude, 40-minute episode. It's been a minute since
Pretty
we've had
good,
one
man.
of those.
It's pretty good. Next week, the fucking season starts, man.
Yeah,
We're gonna
have
be
actual
on the
stuff
grind.
to talk about now.
Gonna be on the grind. On top of the team previews, check all those out. The Leafs one is gonna be coming out. We didn't forget about you guys. It's gonna come out eventually, a little bit later, but we're gonna have a big boy on,
A huge guess.
a big fish, free agent,
Huge guess.
big fish. So hit that damn sub button. You're not gonna regret it. Like the video, share the video. Put in the comments like, what's up with Sandin? What's going on with him?
Yeah, let us
Give
know,
him
man.
some recommendations for mushrooms, in the comments. Anything else, Lou? That's a wrap.